$20,000 final. Mustang for the win for Team Greer.
Okay, one more time.
Test. Hey, I'm Brad Willow, owner of Montgomery International Dragway. Welcome to the WDRA World Final.
I've always dirtied everything that I found. Same no difference, look at you now. Baby, cut yourself loose. Save all the things that I said that night. Playing it cool, but I never got it right. Baby, cut yourself loose.
All right, just a few quick things. You guys are the reason that we started WDRA. You're the reason that we're doing what we're doing.
Eddie Sumlins from Buffalo, New York, race for Empire Speedway and Lancaster Speedway.
Bob Parrish out of the town of Tonawanda, race for Empire Dragway. Couldn't ask for a better track.
You are not already being outlaw, getting
Mitchell Seymour. Glenn Seymour, Coleman, Alabama. There's a lot of tough competitors here. You know, it's going to be a throwdown. Whoever walks out here to win definitely earned it.
We let them say what they gonna say about us. That ain't nothing. I ain't bothered, now I'm haters ain't nothing.
My name is Aaron Schreiber. I'm from Southeast Nebraska. I was the points winner in the box class at I-29 Dragway in Pacific Junction, Iowa, and got my golden ticket to come to Montgomery.
You bet your bottom dollar I'm a classic. 64 Impala.
What's going on at Steiner Brothers Camp?
Montgomery International, Dragway in Alabama, and World Final. Well, my uncles got me into racing when I was a little kid. They had in '72 they had a 55 Chevy that they ran at Niagara, Empire, Lancaster, Spencer Speedway. And in '83, I was turning 16. My grandparents bought me a 55 Chevy, and I needed a Reggie for it. The one that came with it was no good. So I bought this car sitting in a field in Canandaigua, New York for $500. Only the best racers are here.
We have our finals getting loaded up into the lanes right now. $20,000 for no box, $20,000 to win in box, $5,000 for the two sleds, juniors at $10,000 in sports.
What are you thinking on there?
Here we go.
Junior finals, here we go. Grace Farner, Evan Munchler.
Baby, cut yourself.
All right, top 12 box final, $20,000. It's a door car and a dragster.
So all these people that are left here, they've been fighting other people that would be world champions elsewhere. These are the best of the best.
I think since WDRA came on board last year, they have been one of the best things that's happened to the drag racing in a long time.
Keep me up every night.
I'm Felicity Morris. I am from Pensacola, Florida. So I'm in college right now. It's been a little bit of an issue finding time where both of us are able to take off for racing, but I knew that I really wanted to take off this weekend and because only the best of the best race here.
Now that you're gone, bring satisfaction for me now. Bring satisfaction for me now. Bring satisfaction for me now. Now that you're gone, now that you're gone, now that you're gone.
Taking over the world. Sportsman drag racing has gone to a whole new level.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on? We
Welcome
live.
to the Fat Rabbit and the Stick Show. We still kicking. Man, I've been missing doing the show last week. We get nice to get back rolling again. What show is this again? Number what?
Episode 16, ain't it?
Woo! It ain't been canceled. I tell you what, I can't believe we still rolling and doing good. It seems like we're getting bigger and get a lot more people. I know tonight's show we wanting to praise 3 of our track champions from Greer that out of 6, we're gonna try to do 3 this week and do 3 next week. But I'm hoping to have a good show here and let everybody learn a little bit about some of these champions and just praise them a little bit.
Hey, before you get into that, that little video that CJ showed, that Jessica, she's something else, ain't she? She's great.
I tell you what, she did some write-ups, and she's very, very polished and good with her words. But she grew up around racing. She knows how to present stuff, and she's amazing. She really is amazing in her pictures. She does a lot for WDRA, and she's amazing.
Yeah, she's good for them for sure, and she's great for us at home.
Great for us.
So, makes us look like we know what we're doing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So, talk a little bit about Carolina, the race at Carolina.
Yeah, I couple of the local guys, our buddies, people we grew up with, watching race, and friends. Looked like on Saturday it was Trent Jones, and I think you and him used to run with each other back in the day and hang out.
We did.
Over he won on Saturday over Kevin Brandon, and Kevin, he's the best there is. He ain't been as hot as he has been in the past, but I think he just picked up 40 the other week in a split in a big race, and then he went down there and run it up. So Kevin Brandon, he's the man. And then on Sunday it was Logan Westmoreland over Harrison Crawford. Harrison, he's been tough. He's just, I think he ran wheel not too long ago in a big race.
Yeah, and Logan's had a good season too.
And Logan, he's been hot. He's always tough.
Yep.
But
the beat just keeps going, don't it?
Oh yeah.
For him, yeah. So.
And the sad part about him, he got that season pass from the turkey trot. We're gonna probably have to deal with him a little more over at Greer next year. So might not be too good for us.
Well, I don't mind dealing with him. It's just as long as he'll leave Chopper at home, it might be all right.
Oh yeah.
Just kidding.
But yeah, that congratulations to them guys. Them well deserved. Them are good racers. Good to see them get it on. But who we gonna have with us tonight? First,
well, you got Jordan Fieldbeck. He was your team champion, track champion there on Greer, and you're gonna have we'll have Jordan on now. Hey buddy, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
Hey man, you tell us a little bit about you and what how long you been at it, and we all know your dad, Robbie Fieldbeck. He's former sportsman, WDRA champion, world champion last year, wasn't he?
Yes, sir.
And I know his car real well. That car has the history of everybody that drove it's won, and he's really blossomed that thing out there and made it even more of a winning combination than what it had. But is that something you're gonna be driving later on, or what you got in the works for you?
Me and him he's gonna try let me learn more about the car, and I'm gonna try driving it a bit next year.
Hey, Jordan, how old are you? Like school? What grade are you in school and such as that? Like, give us a little bit of story about you.
And I'm 17 years old.
Okay. How long have you been running the sportsman class? Or the team class, I'm sorry.
Late the last year season and the whole of this year's season.
I got you. Got you.
Well, you just about won every race over there this year, didn't you?
Just about.
I think you about cleaned them up at Union too. Didn't you win the championship over there?
Yes, sir.
What kind of hobbies you do when you're not racing?
Sometimes I like to hang out with my friends. Sometimes I'm just with my dad, and sometimes I just play video games.
I get you. What I want to know is, how did you let your dad talk you into? How did you talk your dad into letting you drive the truck? He's famous for that truck. I mean, how did you get in on that?
Well, I've been begging him for a while, and he finally came up to it, and he just decided to put me in it one day, like, let's start to get you ready. So he took me to Shadyside one day and let me drive down the track a few times.
I got you.
And let me run foot brake down there.
See, y'all do well up there, is, really anywhere you go, but I see where y'all enter the gamblers races and even their points races. You and your dad both do very well.
Do you help your dad work on his car any, or are you a show up driver and drive, or do you do a lot of helping to get the cars from everything prepared to go racing? Or
I help get prepared to go racing, and I sometimes help him with the car.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I tell you, there's a lot more to just driving these cars. You got to keep them maintained, and I know I had a nephew one time that raced, and I don't think he knew nothing about getting nothing ready to go to racetrack.
The three of us, me, Tom, and CJ, all our dads are huge in our careers. All along, as long as we've raced. And that's definitely a big deal for you to have your dad in your corner. I mean, he's been successful and he's knowledgeable and help you along. But does he let you kind of do your own thing as far as in racing, or does he coach you along, such as that? Like, how does that go? Like, when y'all come to the racetrack, do you just do your thing? And
right now I do my thing, but back then he used to coach me through a lot. But now I just started doing my own thing.
I got you. That's cool. Yeah. I'll say it's definitely, Tompkins probably attests to it too. It's been huge to have our dads, CJ too, in our corners, and learned a lot. You learn a lot just by being there, and, even checking tires. I mean, put them in the water, such as that, it still goes, you learn a ton that way. Right, Tom?
Oh yeah, just being there and understanding, the different strategies of dialing the car. You might dial a little different in this situation versus that situation, and I'm sure your dad's probably taught you a lot about that kind of stuff. And like I said, there's a lot more to racing than just put a dial in on the car, go out there and try to hit the tree and ring your dial in. You got to think ahead of the game. Like I said, you might race an opponent a little bit different than you would this opponent because of their speed or whatever their situation may be. I know you're in the teen class, and you really haven't got into all that, but by helping your dad and learning, you understand that kind of stuff, and it all come into play as you progress. But it's amazing. You really got a good record, because I like Rusty was saying, I watch Shadyside and I see the gamblers races. I see you winning, and in Union you winning, and every time you turn around you're winning, and that's good. And me as I love to see these young people my boy, I hope toward the end of next year he's gonna get into that team class. I'm gonna really push it and hope we can get some other racers in, some other people to get involved, and I'm myself is going to try to do a lot to try to promote that class, because it's I love to see kids racing and doing things.
And you guys are the future, Jordan. I mean, you the guys you run with, if they stick with it and grow and step off into the foot brake sportsman, pro, whatever you want to get into, that's this is learning grounds, as far as in the teen class. That's and you've definitely got off to a good start for sure. Are you planning to run the truck some more next year? Is that plans or what is our plans beyond next season? I didn't know what y'all were shooting for there in the fieldback camp.
Well, I'm going to plan on running the truck a little more next race season. I'm going to, because it's good for what it's known for. It runs consistently.
Gotcha.
And trying to get my driver's license so I can actually drive it around and race better classes like foot brake and stuff.
I got you. That's cool. It's really cool. And we talked about your dad, and I mean, it's a family deal. We all know that. But is there, this season that you had is one that just don't come along too often. But is there something or someone or folks that you may want to thank? I mean, I know your dad, obviously, but in family. But is there somebody you'd like to thank that's helped you to get to where you're at now?
Actually, my mom, for one of the things, she kind of helped raise me like my dad did. They raised me. It was kind of helpful. And
well, man, it sounds like you got a good future ahead of you, and like I said, you got a good coach there. I don't think winning's going to be a problem in your future. It's just according how many, how far you want to go with it, and we wish you the best in 2025. And like I said, I'm sure you're going to be making plenty of noise in the future.
Jordan, there's Britt Sinclair's talking you up, said you're flat nasty. And I guess that's your mom. Is she's talking about the bird in the background. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah,
she's proud. She's proud of you for sure. So I see you made a comment there. That's cool. But yeah, we look forward to like Tom said, your future, and just watching you turn on more win lights and growing as a driver. It's great to see you over there. And like I said, you and your dad and mom y'all would do it as a family group. That's cool. Just stay at it, and it actually keeps us out of trouble. Ain't that right, Tom?
Yeah, me have a lot of trouble.
Yeah. So yeah, we're glad that you come on with us tonight, and the season you had is becoming the champion there at Greer. That's pretty cool in itself. And but we will let you go now, and we'll see you soon at the racetrack, I'm sure.
Congratulations, buddy.
Congrats, buddy.
Congrats to you, Tom.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Oh, well, that was good. Who we got coming on next?
Oh, you want to bring Jamie on, Jamie Sims?
Oh yeah, he gonna talk like Randy is, and we'll be on all night.
As long as he don't gets rubbing his hands, he gets rubbing his hands together. What's up, buddy?
How you doing, man? Congratulations on your championship, and you was a terror over there this year, wasn't you?
Yeah. I did okay. We had a good time. I never, let's see, I won 4 races. I never could win a dash, but the other end decent, and we did I missed one race. We had booked a cruise before we knew when the races were.
Yeah.
But yeah, we won 4 out of 8.
Well, that's good. That's good. I tell you, I know we seem like we was always talking about you when we was talking about race results every week, and that's pretty good.
How cool is it to be the first motorcycle track champion at Greer?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, backstory. I think some people know, some people don't, but gosh, I've been going there since 1980 with the family.
You telling on yourself?
Yeah. Took my first tree, 40 years later plus. So yeah, and then to come away and I tell you, I was pitiful the first 2 races. I couldn't find any time to practice. I've had that blue bike for several years, and anyway, first run the bike just chokes down, pitiful, and I didn't know what happened, and it did it again. Second practice run. This is first race of the year, and so we kind of came back and watched the video that Amanda had taken, and I've raced dirt bikes for 25 years now, and our dirt bikes, especially, they got such a big rear sprocket, we'll click them up in the second gear and leave the starting line. So I had clicked that bike up in the second gear 2 times, and it just choked down. Right. So I was pitiful. I mean, I was just pitiful. First 2 races, went out first round. But my mom's there, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I told her at the end of the day, I said, I'm going to win the championship. I'm sure after that day, she probably thought. Yeah. But
well, dude, you rode what, 3 bikes this season or 2?
I did. I've had that blue bike, which is, it's got a tag. I mean, it's a street bike, but it's a good bike. I bought it new from Chris Moore in 2016. So pretty good bike. But when Greer said they were going to run, I said, I'm going to go buy me something. So I wanted probably a good 560 bike. Couldn't find anything I wanted. Maybe got too anxious. Season was coming. And I found a really good bar bike that'll run 520s, 530s. So bought that bike, but still couldn't find time to practice, whatever. So I show up and run the first race or 2 on the blue bike, get the bar bike out for about the 3rd race. Ran pretty good, ran a 537 on it, but just kind of didn't have the shifts down. Amanda and I, we weren't comfortable at all pulling that thing back down the road.
Yeah.
So I said, let's drop back and punt. Got the blue bike out the next race and said, let me get some practice on this new bar bike. Well, then all of a sudden we win a race. I'm like, uh-oh. On this bike. I mean, it's got a license plate. It's my kind of daily. So we kept pulling it out. And then by the end of the season, the very last race, I finally found a good 560 bike, auto shift, air shift, bought it, thought I might bring it out for that last race when I had fell to 3rd in points,
Right.
Got it out, flubbed the first practice run, second practice run, laid down a good pass, but had a bad light, not quite used to it. So we rolled the blue bike out.
Faithful.
That race to win the championship, and I did. But so anyway, so now I got 3 bikes. I think they're all good in different ways. I got a good bar bike. Might be a good bike to, I don't know, maybe eventually add a box to for some of these other tracks. Got my blue bike that I kind of like. There's a couple classes for it since it is, a little more catered to a street bike. There's some classes that again kind of cater to that. It's a stock wheelbase. There's classes for those.
Yeah.
I have this new 560 bike that I think is going to be really good. Air shift, auto shift. So looking forward to next year. Hopefully not being as lost, and hopefully Mike and Alicia let us come back too. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, I thought that even though it was a new class added, I just thought it didn't take long for you guys to get settled in as a class. I mean, I felt like you guys were really competitive, kind of right away. You know, I felt like as a whole, and I thought it was cool. Was it 2 weeks ago when we had Andrew on, Tom? Is that right? And he talked about, you know, obviously you didn't have a WDRA number, a summit number, and that allowed him to go and such as that. But he really talked about, you guys really didn't know one another. Yeah, really. And I thought it was just neat that as the season wore on, and what he talked about is how y'all come together as a group collectively. I thought that was neat. You know, y'all sort of bonded. I thought that was neat. I didn't know, if you want to talk a little bit about that, because I mean, he touched on a little bit about it, you know, but.
I think we did. I think we had a pretty good time. You know, we talked a lot in the staging lanes. We, of course, us guys, we can't really pop our helmets off coming down the return road. So we might not know who won the dash. We immediately kind of walking around, getting a feel for how people are running for the day, who won the dash. Again, the first week or two, that was another thing that helped me. I kind of didn't even know where I wanted to park, right? I'm
right.
Up where I can see, but starting second or third week, we all park together. We're a smaller group, so we see each other, even if we can't kind of hear the speakers, we see each other take off to the line. So, and I think for the most part, we, occasionally probably somebody had to get out and go home, or there was a slower day, but we hung around to see who won at the end. I kind of think we pulled for each other to do good, all knowing that we had a lot of good passes, a lot of good races. We had a lot of times we were missing light.
Yeah.
Some of us being newer. So I think we pulled for each other to get a little better, put on a better show. A couple of people go down and cut decent lights and run a couple of numbers off. You're going to put on a better show. So but we want to try to do that too. I think we had 10 or 11 people total show up all year long. We were probably averaging 6-7 bikes. I love for us to get to average 10, 11, and just kind of have a pretty good time, have a little better purse, So
yeah, well, I just thought it was neat that even though you guys are all competitive and wanted to win, it's like y'all grew together. And I've noticed that. I mean, even in me racing, you have, when it comes time to race, and me and Tom talked about this before, it's like you're friends with these people, but when it's time to pull in the staging lanes, you're getting yourself together, and it's not that you're being out of the way toward these people or here and there. You're just focused on what you're doing. You still want to be friends with them off the track, such as that, but I've noticed it with the juniors, and it's not that way everywhere because we've been at it now this is our 4th season, and I feel like that group over there at Greer, the juniors, for the most part, everybody gets along very well, and they, and I felt like I saw that with you guys this year. It was like, it was new. And you still wanted to be the man, or the woman, whoever, if you have ladies racing. But it's like y'all come together as a group, and that I feel like that's a good sign for the class itself going forward. But anyway, and while we're on that, I think Chris Moore needs a lot of kudos, I guess you'd say, and thanking him for what he's done, supporting the class over there on Saturdays. If you want to talk a little bit about Chris and
Yeah, for sure. To support the class, and again, I bought that blue bike new from Chris years ago. He tuned it for me. You guys may know, but if you buy a more powerful street bike new, the government, they kind of smother these things. They won't allow them to potential from the dealership. So somebody like Chris can go in and tune it for you, remove those restrictions. So he did that for me. Chris loves motorcycles. He's no grudge. He's done this and that, and he'll play in a car or something occasionally on Thursday night at a Greer. But he really loves motorcycles. I think he does. Wants to see it grow. Loves Greer. Talks about Greer. On his following, he's got tons of followers, and of course he posts a lot of video on Thursdays. But yeah, for him to get in behind it, especially something that's probably a little bit. Just a little bit different for him, right? Some bracket racing.
Yeah.
But to lay some support to that, and especially a busy guy, right? He's got a ton going on between his racing and his shop and his promotion. So yeah, so for him to get in behind us is a really good deal. I actually did a little tune up on my blue bike and picked it up the day of that last race at his shop, and of course, I keep kind of my stuff clean, and so he says, "Hey, let's do a picture." So it wasn't in the shop; it was in the showroom. So we go do a little picture, and but Chris is cool. I think he's as cool as he has time to be, and Chris had a little more time. We'd probably see him at more, things like the bracket race on Saturday.
Yeah,
but again, schedule's pretty full. But but appreciate his support.
Yeah, it's cool that he's giving back because that's where he got his start at there at Greer. I remember him as a kid. That's where he got started, and it's like he's even like you said, as busy and as big as he's grown his business to where it's at now. He still hasn't forgotten, where he started, where he come from, and I like you said, I think it's cool, and I think with him on board, and obviously Mike and Alicia's support, it's the sky's the limit, really. I think for your class.
I hope so.
I was going to mention on the show here. You mentioned about fooling with dirt bikes for 25 years. And you've had a passion for two wheels for as long as I was a kid, as long as I can remember. I talked to him about your track that you had built there at your dad's place.
Yeah. So I got my first bike when I was 8. Enjoyed dirt bikes. Raced a few times as a kid, but of course my family was doing something a little bit different. And then really actually just kind of forgot about it through high school and college, and bumped into a guy that I rode with as a kid, my last year of college, and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he said, "Hey, I race dirt bikes." Kind of went back to racing, and last time he and I rode, we were probably 12, 13 years old. So got a dirt bike and started racing. Probably raced in, I guess, 7 states now, and and I do love that. It's time of the year right now. I got my hand on mine sitting here in the shop. So play with that over the winter. But yeah, so graduate college in '96, buy a bike. I'm literally, some folks may know, but my dad's got a lot of land down in Honeypath, and I'm literally out there kind of building little jumps and a place to ride with a shovel. And that evolved to, bulldozers and rented skid steer. And we were kind of like, well, we could get some money back from some of this equipment. We'll invite people over for $10, right? Back then you could $10 at a track. So, and then this was before, internet, social, Facebook, whatever. So it's kind of word of mouth, maybe a flyer. And the first weekend we had like 40 people show up. And county didn't go for that at all. So get a call from this guy in the county, and And he had left a recording that basically said, you can't do that. Can't charge money and have these people show up. So I called him back. I had listened to his message. I was real nice. And I said, we've been riding here for a couple of years. And I was like, can we start back riding just me and a friend or two? And he was really nice. He said, you can ride all night long. He said, he said, I appreciate you calling back and being nice. He said, you just can't have a business there. You can't have 40 people
showing up. Yeah.
So, that was, I don't know, that was probably the year 2000. And we've kind of been riding there ever since, a few people at a time. But yeah, Dad's nice enough to let us, go down there and play. So still got a track down there. Still love my dirt bikes, but this drag racing thing's been pretty neat this year.
What about the old yellow banana that your dad had? The old yellow dragster he had.
Yep.
You ever crawl in behind the wheel of that thing, or have any doings, or have you ever crawled behind the wheel of any one of them cars or anything?
Yeah, of course we didn't have juniors when I was a kid, right? So I really never got into cars. I tried his second roadster when I was about 16 and tried it once, twice, couldn't get the buttons, couldn't leave the line. And I kind of said, the heck with it, get into high school, get into college, get busy. But I'm in college. He had just built the yellow dragster. This was so it would have been 1994. I was 21 years old. I was born in 73. I think he's closing his gas station. He's barely getting to Greer in time. Me and somebody else take the car. I had helped kind of get the car clean. Again, it was brand new. This was a big IHRA race. Dad kind of wanted to get it down the track to let it be seen, maybe win best appearing open body car, right? So he tells me to ease it down the track and kind of let it be seen, right? And so t-shirt on, helmet, and I get on the starting line. The car runs 530s, right? I think it ran a 535 that day, but I didn't stall it up, but I took off and, it's a dragster, it's air shifted, pretty smooth ride, and it was over. And I ran a 550. Still to this day, Joel thinks that's the funniest thing ever. Probably especially with my dad, because I'm headed back down the return road thinking, am I about to get whooped? But sure enough, they won best appearing car that day. I'm not in the picture because all through college I worked the weekend shift at night, so I went and hopped into bed to get some sleep. Probably another reason that that I kind of didn't get into driving. I was working too much, but yeah, I that was my claim to fame back in the day. I think, and in '94, that was a pretty decent. That might have got you in a quick 16. It was a decent pass. Yeah, and some people think that's funny. Nobody thinks it's funnier than Joel does.
We talk about that. We talk about that every once in a while. It's something. Every time I see you, I think about that. All you're doing is supposed to be warming the car up, and then you find yourself up there.
It seems like at the time you could get a top dragster license if you ran a 50 or a 49 or something.
549. That's right. Yep.
So I think that's what we laughed about later that night.
Close. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. So we talked about a lot of stuff, and you said you'd won 4 of the 8 races you run. Is there anybody you want to thank, well, not just this year season, but just in general? Is there somebody you want to thank, or folks you want to thank for getting you to where you're at now?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll start with my mom and dad for that first bike in 1981. So I don't know if looking back, I think that might have been the best idea. I worries I'm a little bit now running 530s. But my parents, I enjoyed going to Greer as a kid. I mean, I always did. even not being a driver, I mean, I can tell you so many moments that, you know, we had a good time or won a race, or seems like we won a $3,000 race a long time ago when we broke a torque converter and, you know, all had hot hands and put it back in.
Yeah.
Race. So I've enjoyed racing. You know, this year, Mike and Alicia, all the guys that I ran with, but especially Andrew Patterson. Andrew was just anything, you know, when he finished second in points and he never held back. Little things, these bikes, especially my stock wheelbase, it tends to get hot in the clutches, and little ways to, you know, point my fan or put a tie wrap on a clutch lever when we come back off the track to leave the plates open. So Andrew and his wife were always just really good to Amanda and I. We had a really good time. You know, Chris Moore again, especially for you know, sponsoring the class, and then Casey and his family, man, they that's a big part of the reason I wanted to do this bike deal. I mean, I have a good time, but I wanted to be with the family a little bit more too. Just hang out with them and Casey and Sissy and their boys. And so they got to be at a couple races, get into some of those winners' photos. And man, that's that'll kind of last forever.
That means a ton there for sure. Yeah.
And then my better half, Amanda, my girlfriend, I mean, she just never said why or what. We went to Virginia to buy that bar bike, and it's over here clean. Like I say, it's a good bike. Everything from just, I think a lot of folks know I've got kind of a bad eye, so I do a dark shield in the day, and when we go to nighttime, she knows we're flipping and changing to a regular shield as it gets darker, clear shield. So you guys know, man, if you got somebody, family or like that,
huge help. Yeah, for sure.
Especially us bike guys, we're a little bit hot over there in those leathers and the staging lane. So, for her to be there, keep a towel and try to keep me calm. I think we both learned that a little more during the year. I know different people have their different ways, but probably more than not, it's better just to try to be calm. And we kind of learned to go with the flow. And so her too. I appreciate her hanging in, and we're looking forward to next year.
We are too, for sure. So, but yeah, we appreciate you doing this, Jamie, and congratulations on your track champions first inaugural year here at Greer. That's pretty cool, man. Tom, you got anything for him?
I was just sitting here thinking, you mentioned you run your dad's dragster and then running a 5-second pass on that motorcycle. Are there any comparisons to the thrill of both? I could not imagine riding on a motorcycle running 550s or 30s, 60s or nothing like that.
I probably need to do one more thing to be able to answer that honestly. I know so many guys now are running, low fours or mid fours in a dragster.
Yeah.
I will say 550 in a dragster was a Cadillac ride.
Really?
But probably something like, 550 in my brother's Vega would probably feel a lot like that. We're talking, a little more of a handful to go that fast on a bike. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good rush on that bike, especially that faster bike, and trying to hit your shifts on it and things like that. But yeah, maybe it feels like my brother trying to wheel that fast Vega or something.
Andrew's chiming in. Jamie, he says he can't wait till next season. He's congratulating you on this year, so that's pretty cool. So
yeah, for sure. We had a ball with him and his wife and his son, and I'm looking forward to his son racing juniors and maybe distracting a little bit. We'll
I got you. But yeah, we appreciate you, man, and look forward to next season, and hopefully the class continues to grow, man. Really, I've been an advocate for y'all for the whole season. I really wanted to see it grow, and like the teen class. I like to see that teen class grow.
Oh,
you know.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you, and we'll be seeing you soon. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Hey, congratulations on the big win, the big check.
Thank you, buddy. It sure was nice. But congratulations, and y'all made that last race exciting over there on the points deal. So just keep
cool.
it up, and we'll do everything we can to help promote y'all and keep y'all.
Appreciate that a lot.
Keep y'all rolling. All right, buddy. Thank you.
See you, Jamie. Thank you. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. That class will do good. There's too many good people, and a lot of good things gonna happen out of that.
So you want to bring Will on?
Yeah, old Mr. Will.
Last but not least.
Yes.
How's it going?
What's up, buddy?
Nothing much. How about y'all?
We're good.
What you been up to?
Just school. I'm working a little bit.
I tell you what, you had an amazing ending to your career, and I hate to see you get over there and deal with us.
I'm glad to see you heading your way.
Five-time track champ. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I guess it's pretty cool. I'm just glad I outdid my brother for the most part. That's my big worry.
I believe, didn't you? I guess that ties you with Adam, I guess, for the most track championships at Greer. I believe he had 5. I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool there. But is there a championship that sticks out to you amongst those 5?
Definitely probably the first one. I thought the way it all ended out was pretty cool. So me and my brother, we were both in the semis, and we were the only 2 I think that could win points. There was one round that separated us, and he ended up beating me in the semis. I went red or something on him, and then in the finals he had to run Cali, and Cali beat him. So the championship came down to that one run. So I thought that was pretty cool.
How was you? 10 years old that year?
I would have been, yes, I'd have been 10.
That's pretty cool. Now, I know firsthand you're one that watches, pays a ton of attention to not just where you're at locally, but big money racing. If we're not there, you're watching it. We're watching a lot together.
Yeah, I tell Hayden all the time. I say if Motor Mania has like a top viewer thing, I would be top 3 for sure.
That'd be you, yeah. So, do you think that's helped you? It didn't hurt to have your dad and Parker too, but do you think that's helped you progress as your career went on?
I definitely think that's because I feel like the more I watch, the more like strategies and finish line techniques I see. So I feel like that always helps.
Tom,
if you were to build the perfect bracket car on the local or big money level, who would be your starting line driver and who would be your finish line driver? Who do you look up to? Who do you think?
It don't have to. It could be past or present. But if you're going to build a perfect bracket racer, because I know you watch a ton. We're putting you on
everybody. He knows everybody.
I feel like Jeff Serra would be finish line driver for me because I mean he can hold a 10th and put it dead on pretty much every lap, just routinely. And then starting line, it would probably be Biondo.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
that's really good for sure. Really good. What's the junior dragster class at Greer as a whole? What's your take on it? I know there's some veteran drivers that, and I'm meaning like going forward. Now that you're stepping away and Adam's stepping away, and Cali stepping away at Greer, but like going forward, like you got some veteran drivers coming back, and you got some up and coming kids. Talk to us about the class, like say next year and go and beyond. What's your thoughts on it as a whole?
I feel like the junior class as a whole, I feel like we have the best junior program around. You'll go to these other tracks and they'll have 20 cars and they'll pay $150 to $200. And if we have, 9 cars, we pay 500.
Yeah, it
500
is.
and 100. So
yeah,
I feel like we definitely have the best like payouts around.
So like what I agree totally with that. But where do you think the class stands going forward? Like the drivers that we have over there, like, and I mean in like your veteran kids, and what do you see? What do you see like going into the future, like next year and forward? Like, because I know you pay attention to the kids you race with, but I mean, like, who do you see sort of stepping out? And is it your veteran kids going to keep pulling the load, or is it going to be some of these younger kids stepping forward? Because you got a good take on the talent that we have over there.
Right. For me, I've always said Carson. I think he's going to be a really good driver.
Yep.
I see pretty much everywhere he goes, he's always late rounds or in the finals or something. So.
Yep. He does good. Tom, what was you going to ask you?
Do I?
Go ahead. I was waiting for you to ask.
Who do you see? And I'm not talking just Greer. I know y'all race up in North Carolina a little bit and around different places. Who do you think that could possibly be the next Will Dotson? Because you really are one of a kind. They ain't many people gonna be able to get out of them junior dragsters and move on up and have the resume that you have. Would you say that, Rusty?
Yeah.
They ain't many.
Long as I'm not tuning for him, we'll be all right.
Yeah. They usually don't work out too well.
You mentioned Carson, and I don't doubt he's going to be very successful. But do you see one kid out there that maybe could be the next Will Dotson or
as far as Greer, I think Alden can be really good as well. I know he took a huge step this year. I think he was in like 5 or 6 finals at Greer or something like that.
Yeah, I would put him out there on a list that could possibly be a Will Dotson.
I mean, Rodney definitely could too. I mean, I know he's already won a track championship and he does good weekly as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Justin does a really good job preparing. I mean, keeping the stuff good and stuff. And he's not the only, parent that keeps her stuff good, but I think he gives Rodney a good piece every time they go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The one question I really got for you that I've thought about, we all got that one person you roll around that curve there and you roll up there and you got that, you pull up beside that one person, or do you ever have that one person you pull up and you say, oh my God?
I've had several of those. Several. At Greer specifically, it's Bo for sure. I've ran him like 5 or 6 times this year and he's wore me out about every time. I mean, he's tough for sure.
Yeah, he's done a good job for sure too. Yeah.
Outside of Greer, it's probably Brian Atkins. He runs in Mooresville a lot.
Yeah.
He's tough for sure.
Yeah.
Calla's rough on you too.
The same thing about
he is for sure as well.
I said Calla Varner's rough on him too.
Yeah, she's been rough on me here recently.
But
that was our one shot, Will, that we had to look good with me and you as a team, and
I know. After that, it went to crap.
We blaming Travis, so.
But man,
So-
you've really had an amazing career. I just when you said I don't get around there to the juniors a lot, but I watch a little bit here and there, and it's like, man, you just and you just. I mean, I watch how you present yourself. You just, I mean, you got your attitude is just like happy go lucky, and I'm gonna do it. And you're serious, but you make it look so easy. It ain't even funny. You know, I mean, it's amazing. But not only that, you're really a good person too. And some of the things I've heard you say and speak, uh, and you know, you love to see good things come to good people. And man, you really have had a heck of a career. And I'm sure jumping in that big car and hitting that runner up on that 10K race and doing it the way you did it. And then didn't you go to another big race and got down close? Was it the spring?
Rockingham at the
It was
SFG.
SFG at Rockingham. That was actually my first race.
Yeah. See, you're a natural. You're a natural. But it's amazing. It's amazing to watch you get out there and do the things you do.
So
I appreciate that.
What's our plan for 2025?
I guess just race the big car. I'm kicking Parker out of the race deck ever since Mooresville, so he's got to find him something else. But yeah, we're probably gonna try to hit a couple of the fling races, and then we're obviously gonna try to hit all the Greer races, and then some of the more local 10 or 20 granders we're probably gonna try to go to as well.
So your dad's out still too? Are we kicking him out? Is he?
I tell him he can drive anytime he wants to. He just don't want to. He can say what he wants to, but I give him, or me and Parker both say he can drive, and he don't want to. So,
well, he's definitely been good to have in your corner. He's 4-time track champion? Is that right?
Yeah.
4 at Greer and 1 at Shadyside, I think.
Yeah. So
I know he's been a thorn to me over the years. I'll just say that he's tough. He's another tough one. He's one of the ones that he can get the job done, and he just makes it look easy too. Also, you know.
Yes, that old Nova back in the 5-second days, he was rough on me. So, I know you, mom and dad, and Parker's big to you, but who do you want to thank for? I mean, not just this year, but getting to where you're at now. Like, who's the ones you'd like to thank?
I gotta thank Steven, of course. He's been a huge help. I blew a motor up at Rockingham earlier in the year, and he came all the way from his house to Rockingham just to come fix my motor so I could race the rest of the weekend. So he's definitely been a big help. And then Hayden Lambert and Isaac Bridges, they've both been big helps, and you as well, Rusty.
Shoot. I don't know. Them two, I don't know if I fall in that category with them two.
I think we're a little bit more rough on stuff when we get together.
That's right. We are. But so definitely a great season and good ending to your career. We've talked about that together. I think my youngin was in two finals with you this year, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were a little rough on her. So hopefully
he didn't cut the little girl no slack.
No, I kept trying to see if he. I mean, he's the big brother. I thought he could at least give her a little, a little slack, but he's rough on her. So, but no, all jokes aside, it's a great career, and it's, great time to moving on. And I know your mom wanted you to run another year, and
yeah, she's not very happy about that. But
no, so, but
me and Dad were both like, we're just ready to get this over with.
It's definitely going to be good going forward. I know that's going to be tough on these pro guys stepping over there with them. But thank you for coming on. And Tom, you got anything else for him?
No, just congratulations, and man, you always look good out there doing your thing. Like I said, it's gonna be tough dealing with you next year.
Well, thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me on.
Hey, one more thing before we go.
Yep.
If you had to do a top 5 all-time juniors at Greer, who would be your top 5?
Top 5 juniors at Greer.
I'm putting you on the spot here. That race is there, consistently.
Right now, or just like
No, all time.
All time juniors at Greer. So Adam's up there, of course. He's won 5 championships as well. CJ, he's up there as well, probably. I don't know many like older drivers like how they done back in the day, like Shane and Kevin and all them. I know they race juniors. I've heard stories about Shane, so I'd say he's probably up there.
Say CJ could probably tap in on that. He was
he raced in that era a lot. So
yeah, Redman.
Will, you want me to tell you who was the baddest of the land back then?
Who was it?
And I'm sure that she's tuned in right now, but the baddest of the land was Alicia.
I could see it. I could see that.
Alicia was she
2-time track champion.
Back in my day, there weren't buybacks, and
Right.
she was always the first car in the right lane. And Dad just consistently was like, "Nah, we're going to be the first car in the left lane." And iron sharpens iron. You're gonna have to beat her. There was no ducking it. I think the first year I run juniors, I don't think I turned on a single win light. I think Alicia beat me every week. So. But she shaped me up good. But Alicia was very dominant. Michael White won a couple championships. Shane won a few. Kip won a bracket finals. Shane won a bracket finals.
David Hall had a good.
Brandon. There's a lot of drivers back then it was fun, man. It was different times. I'd love to have a lot of them people on, and we'd pull up some old pictures of the old juniors that they ran with the airplane. Like Kevin rocked the airplane front wheels, maybe
on the junior and on the dragster.
He did. He had them on the junior and on the big car. He did.
I took them off the junior and put them on the dragster.
Man, when Kevin first got them gold Magnums and took them airplane wheels off, he didn't know. He thought. He couldn't nobody tell Kevin nothing then.
I think Kevin bought those airplane wheels from Kenny Bernstein. I hope he's tuning in. I would love for him to tune in.
Yeah, I hope he is too.
King of speed. That was 300-mile-an-hour airplane wheels.
What's fun though, Will, is you said your dad's a 4-time track champion.
Yep, 4 at Greer.
And you won 5, and Parker won.
Parker won 1, and he won a bracket finals as well.
So your dad's what, a 10-time car owner champion? So Dad, that's what Dad loves to say. Dad's like, I'm a 10-time car owner, team owner champion. He loves to tout that all the time. Like, hey, y'all wouldn't have done none of this without me.
Exactly.
I'm Don Schumacher here.
Toot his own horn, huh?
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get off of here. I just pop in for a little commentary here.
Anyways, yeah, I think Chris Childers had won one over there. I believe Kevin Pace had a good little run, maybe there for a couple of years. There's a lot of kids that did well. Willie was Tom's nephew. Willie did good back, years ago, that era too. So anyways, I won't hold you no longer. Appreciate you coming on with us, and we'll be looking forward to the future because I know it's going to be bright for sure.
Well, thank y'all for having me on.
All right, see you, buddy.
Be good, buddy. Have good evening.
Y'all too. Bye.
Well,
that was good.
We ain't been canceled out after all this time.
Well, we just keep laying low, I guess. We just can't make it through it. But yeah, that was cool. We got the 3 in, and then we're going to do next week. Our intentions were to do the last 3. Interview those guys. But we appreciate y'all as always. I know we say that, and we not beating a dead horse, but we appreciate y'all. Because without y'all, it wouldn't be a show. But hopefully we can tune in next week, and we'll get the last 3 in, and then we'll try to get a schedule out, kind of what we're going to do going forward. Got the holidays coming up, so we're going to kind of skip around a few weeks there. Right, Tom? That kind of get around Thanksgiving and maybe catch 1 or 2 in December before Christmas. But we'll definitely keep y'all informed. But keep watching, and we'll keep trying to grow this thing. And maybe they won't cancel us. What was you gonna say?
I keep watching. Like I said, we're gonna keep growing, and we'll keep promoting, and a lot of big things gonna happen in the upcoming months for us.
Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Y'all be good. Have a good night. Thank you.